Do you have any good stories from your time in Noah's Effect?
I do have many stories, some of which will release later or never. But stories.
My favorite stories from being in Novus Effect was one time me and Adam, the drummer, I think we were going to Indianapolis, and we took a wrong turn on the interstate, and so we were trying to get turned around, but like the next exit was like super far away, and so I was like, Adam, there, try to go through the middle of the grass, and so Adam pulls down there, and we're kind of sitting waiting to get back on the road, and Adam has his chance, and he just like floors it, and I feel like we came out of the like embankment and just like almost got air, like all the cases and the drums in the back of his car just like shot up in the air. Everything just went crazy, and I don't know, I think it's one of my favorite memories.
I'm trying to think of a good story.
One of my favorite stories about Novus Effect, being in Novus Effect, we were playing a show up in northern Kentucky, and we got done playing, and we were loaded all of our gear up into our cars, and we're all walking back into the venue together, and we get on an elevator, and we hit the button, the doors close, and it goes up about 3-4 feet and just stops and doesn't move anymore, and we're just sitting there waiting and nothing happens. So we all start kind of freaking out a little bit because yay, we're stuck on an elevator, no one knows we're down here, and then we all realize that we don't have any of our cell phones. So yeah, problem 2. And problem 3 was that the alarm button on the elevator, no one was around to hear that, so we just kind of stood there for a couple minutes, and then finally it started moving again, and then when we got off the elevator, when it finally opened up a few minutes later, we realized that we had only gone up about 8 feet from where we had started, and that we could have just taken about 12 steps to get to where we were. So it's a good time. It's a good time.
What?
Thank you very much. I didn't practice that at all. It just happened. Just happened. For you. But
a good story from on the road would probably be one time we were at a Gold Star Chili, and I was the last one out, and I walked out only to find Kevin 2 stories high, having shimmied up the stone wall there on the front of the Gold Star Chili, just hanging out there, yelling down at me, and I was just glad he got down safe, because he's going to break his neck one of these days, and then I don't know what we're going to do.
well, I probably shouldn't tell the one about Josh stabbed a guy once. He's our manager. Matt pooped off the side of the building. I don't know what that was about, but there was poop. Kevin went in the girls' bathroom at this one place, but there were girls in it, and he had to leave quickly. And then it turns out they weren't girls; they were just Japanese pop stars that look like girls. I don't know. It was weird. trust me, because if you ever see Japanese pop stars, I made this mistake once. When I went to Comic-Con one time, and like, there's like cosplay people and stuff. Well, I thought there was this girl Japanese pop punk band, and they had this huge table, because my buddy Jeremy, he used to draw manga over with Fist of the Blue Star, or North Star, Blue Sky, something like that. Anyway, but I wanted to talk to this band, and I was like, oh, are these girls? And looking at all their artwork stuff, and I was like, okay. And so I started talking to them. I was being, kind of like flirty, but not like, I wasn't flirting with them. But then as we kept talking, I was like, they're not saying anything. Like, they were just dead quiet. Well, it's probably because they didn't know English. But then I don't think it was one of their people, but I think my friend came over and said, yeah, this group from Japan. I was like, oh yeah, so, which one of them is the lead singer? And I said she or her or something. He's like, oh no, they're guys. And then I was like, oh, okay. And so then I walked off, but it was awkward.
Is that a true story?
No.
Okay.